In the world of international warfare, there are rules, there are uniforms, there are flags flying high on the battlefield, declaring exactly who is coming for you. When the US Army invades, the world knows. When the Navy SEALs kick down a door, the press release is written before the smoke clears. But there is another layer, a layer beneath the headlines, a space where the rules of engagement are fluid. Imagine a soldier. He has the skills of a Delta Force operator and the cunning of a master. Spy. He doesn't wear a uniform. He carries a rifle with no serial number. He flies in a Russian helicopter, wears local clothes, and carries millions of dollars in cash. If he is killed, his government will not acknowledge him. There will be no public funeral, no flag-draped coffin on the evening news. Just a star, an anonymous star, carved into a marble wall in Langley, Virginia. This is not the military. This is not diplomacy. This is the third option. Welcome to the Special Activities Center, the SAC, and specifically its paramilitary arm, the Special Operations Group, or SOG. Most people think they know what Black Ops means. They think of movies, but the reality of the CIA's paramilitary wing is far darker, far more complex, and far more lethal than Hollywood could ever dream up. These are the men who arrive before the wars start, and they are the ones who stay long after the cameras leave. Today, we are going deep into the shadows. We are going to declassify the ghosts. To understand the SOG, you have to understand the Latin motto carved into their very soul, Tertia Optio. The third option. Here's how the White House sees the world. Option 1, diplomacy. You talk it out. You send ambassadors. You sign treaties. You shake hands. It's clean, it's public, it's polite. Option 2, full-scale military action. You send in the Marines, you drop JDAMs, you invade. It's loud, it's expensive, and it has massive political consequences. But what happens when talking doesn't work, but an invasion is too messy? What happens when you need to influence a foreign election, sabotage a nuclear facility, or hunt down a terrorist leader in a country you aren't officially at war with? You choose the third option, covert action. The Special Activities Center is the president's personal scalpel. Unlike the military, which operates under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, meaning they have to follow the Geneva Convention and mostly operate in declared war zones, the CIA operates under Title 50. Title 50 is the legal gray area that keeps lawyers up at night. It authorizes covert action. The key word here is deniable. When a JSOC team, like Delta Force or DevGru, goes on a mission, it's usually clandestine. That means the operation is a secret, but if they get caught, the US government admits they are US soldiers. They have rights. They are prisoners of war. But for a CIA Paramilitary Operations Officer, a PMOO, the game is different. If they are caught in a hostile nation, the US government can plausibly deny they even exist. We don't know who this man is. He's not one of ours. They are spies who shoot. They are diplomats who carry suppressed Glocks. They are the ultimate hybrid. So who are these people? You don't find them at a job fair. You don't apply on LinkedIn. The recruitment process for the Special Operations Group is one of the most rigorous and bizarre pipelines in the world. The SOG doesn't usually train people from scratch to be warriors. They want guys who are already the best killers on the planet. They headhunt from the Tier 1 units. They go to the break rooms of Delta Force, the team rooms of SEAL Team 6, the barracks of Force Recon Marines, and Air Force 24th STS. They look for the veterans. The guys who have done 5, 6, 10 combat deployments. The guys who are tired of the military bureaucracy but addicted to the action. But here is the catch. To join the SOG, you have to leave the military. It's a process called sheep dipping. Let's say you're a captain in the Green Berets. You're a badass. The CIA wants you. You don't just transfer. You have to resign your commission. You have to legally become a civilian. To the outside world, it looks like you quit the army to go work in the private sector, maybe sell insurance or work as a security contractor. But in reality, you are being onboarded at the farm, Camp Peary, Virginia. Here, these hardened warriors are taught the other half of the job. They already know how to shoot. Now they need to learn how to lie. They learn tradecraft, how to lose a tail, how to use a dead drop, how to pick locks, hotwire cars, and recruit assets. They spend roughly 18 months transforming from soldiers into Paramilitary Operations Officers, PMOOs. They become a paradox. men with the tactical proficiency of John Wick and the social engineering skills of James Bond. Once they graduate, they are assigned to one of the branches within the SOG, and this is where the capabilities get terrifying. The SOG isn't just a bunch of guys running around in the woods. It's a full-spectrum military force hidden inside an intelligence agency. It is divided into 3 main operational branches, plus a specialized support branch that is straight out of a sci-fi movie. 1. Ground branch. These are the door kickers, the operators. Ground branch officers are the ones embedded with local militias, leading indigenous forces, or conducting direct action raids. They are the ones who hunted Che Guevara in Bolivia. They are the ones who hunted Pablo Escobar. 2. Maritime branch, the SEALs of the CIA. But unlike Navy SEALs who use massive submarines and destroyers, Maritime branch specializes in using civilian vessels, trawlers, jet skis, commercial cargo ships. They are experts in infiltrating coastlines without leaving a ripple. 3. Air branch. This is perhaps the most fascinating part. The CIA has its own air force, but you won't see F-35s or Apache gunships here. The air branch specializes in non-attributable aircraft. They fly Russian Mi-17 helicopters. Why? Because if a helicopter crashes in the mountains of Afghanistan or the jungles of Africa, a Russian helicopter looks like it belongs to the locals. It doesn't scream USA. They fly Soviet cargo planes, random Cessnas, and civilian-painted drones. During the Cold War, this was Air America. Today, it's just the air branch. They can drop a team anywhere in the world, undetected, and pick them up without air traffic control ever seeing a blip. 4. Armor and special programs. And then there's the gear. If you are a SOG operator, you can't always carry an American M4 carbine. That proves you're American. You need an AK-47, but you need a good AK-47. The armor branch acquires and modifies foreign weapons. They buy Soviet tanks, technicals, and RPGs on the black market so their teams can use equipment that cannot be traced back to Washington. They create the plausible deniability with steel and gunpowder. To truly understand the power of the SOG, we need to look at September 11, 2001. While the Twin Towers were still smoking, while the US military was still trying to figure out how to move thousands of troops to the other side of the world, the CIA SOG was already there. This is the story of Team Jawbreaker. 11 days after 9/11. That's it. 11 days. A Russian-made Mi-17 helicopter, flown by CIA air branch pilots, flew over the jagged peaks of the Hindu Kush Mountains in northern Afghanistan. On board were 7 men. They weren't wearing uniforms. They were wearing flannel shirts, hiking boots, and North Face jackets. They carried AK-47s. Leading them was Gary Schroen, a veteran CIA officer. He wasn't there to invade. He was there to buy an army. On that helicopter, packed in cardboard boxes, was $3 million in cash, not a wire transfer. Cash. In $100 bills. They landed in the Panjshir Valley to meet the Northern Alliance warlords. The US Army wasn't there yet. The Green Berets wouldn't arrive for weeks. For those first critical weeks, the entire American war effort in Afghanistan was just 7 guys from the CIA SOG with boxes of cash. They walked into the warlord's tent, put the money on the table, and said, "We are here to kill bin Laden. Are you in?" This is the essence of the ground branch. They didn't bring a division of tanks. They brought relationships, intelligence, and cash. By the time the US Special Forces finally arrived, the famous horse soldiers, the CIA had already prepared the battlefield, bribed the right commanders, and identified the targets. Team Jawbreaker is the perfect example of the first in, last out mentality. They pave the road that the military drives on. You cannot talk about the SOG without talking about the legends, and no one embodies the third option more than Billy Waugh. Billy Waugh is a name that should be famous, but he spent his life in the shadows. He was a Green Beret in Vietnam, a studies and observations group, Mac VSOG legend. He was shot multiple times, left for dead, and survived. He retired from the military, but he didn't retire from war. He joined the CIA's SAD. In the 1990s, Billy Waugh was in Sudan. He was tracking a man named Osama bin Laden. Waugh was jogging past bin Laden's compound every day. He had him in his sights. He requested permission to kill him. The White House said no. It's not legal. We don't have the authority. Billy Waugh watched the future architect of 9/11 walk free because the third option wasn't authorized yet. Fast forward to 2001. Billy Waugh is 71 years old. Most men are in nursing homes or playing golf. Billy Waugh? He's in Afghanistan with the CIA SOG, hunting bin Laden again. A 71-year-old man carrying an assault rifle, operating in the freezing mountains, hunting the most dangerous terrorist on Earth. That is the caliber of men we are talking about. Men who don't know how to stop. Men who live for the hunt. But there is a cost, a heavy one. When a Navy SEAL dies, his name is released. His family gets support. The country mourns. When a SOG operator dies, silence follows. In the lobby of the CIA headquarters in Langley, there is a marble wall, the Memorial Wall. It is covered in stars. Each star represents a CIA officer who died in the line of duty. There are over 140 stars on that wall. Many of those stars have names in the Book of Honor that sits below them, but some do not. Some of those stars are just stars. Blank. These are the SOG operators whose missions are still classified. Even in death, they are secrets. Their families might know, but the world never will. They died in countries we aren't supposed to be in, fighting wars that officially don't exist. Mike Spann. He was the first American killed in combat in Afghanistan. He wasn't a soldier. He was a CIA ground branch officer. He died fighting in a prison uprising at Qala-i-Jangi, engaging hundreds of prisoners with just his AK-47 until he ran out of ammo. He is a star on the wall. And then there are the ones we don't know. The pilots shot down over jungles in the 80s. The divers lost at sea. The operators who vanished in the Middle East. The SOG operates in the moral gray zone. They do the dirty work. Assassinations, though they call it targeted killing. Kidnappings, though they call it extraordinary rendition. Sabotage, coups. Critics call them a private army for the president, unaccountable and dangerous. Supporters call them the necessary evil that keeps the wolf from the door. So the next time you hear about a sudden coup in a small country, or a terrorist leader who mysteriously explodes in his car, or a rebel group that suddenly gets brand new weapons and starts winning, don't just look at the news. Look at what's not in the news. Look for the third option. The CIA's Special Activities Center is active right now. As you watch this video, there are men in plain clothes, sitting in cafes in hostile cities, driving beat-up trucks in the desert or flying in unmarked planes. They are watching, they are waiting, and if the order comes, they will act. They are the tip of the spear that you never see coming. They are the SOG, and in their world, there are no medals for second place. There is only the mission, or the star on the wall. Thanks for watching. If you want to disappear down the rabbit hole with us, hit that subscribe button. We are just getting started.